Welcome everyone. We have Stacey Tannenbaum today with us, and I'm going to go over some of the communication challenges that she usually does most often. As she's a leader in this field, and we all know that you are a leader here in the communication. So, how did you start your journey of inspiring others to improve their skill in this communication?
Thank you for asking, and hi everyone. I am Stacey Tannenbaum, and I am very excited to be chatting with my former colleague Subik from Astellas. Um, so I am a PKPD modeler by training, and I realized that I have made all of the mistakes in presenting to clinical teams and realizing that I'm not articulating the value of what it is that we do. And what happens in that situation is that they don't use the best model in the world because they don't understand what you do and they don't understand the value of it. So I kind of did some self study, and of course, once I went to Astellas, I started working with Pete Bonet, and Pete is a longtime friend of mine, and I've always recognized his skills in communication. So I learned a lot at his feet. One of the other things that I've been doing for a long time is Toastmasters. I've been in Toastmasters since 2003, and it is a public speaking organization that also helps you with your leadership skills. But it really helped me to be more concise and more clear in my communication. Um, I realized over the years, especially as I moved from being an individual contributor into being a manager, including of Subik, that communication skills in my team were imperative. If I wanted my department to be successful, I needed the folks in my team to be better communicators and to be stronger communicators and better at talking about what we do to people who don't understand it or even may be a little skeptical of it. Um, so I started doing a lot of self study and working at Pete's Feet. We did many webinars together, and between Toastmasters and the webinars, learning from Pete, reading his book, and just practicing it myself, I realized I have a bit of a knack for it, and decided this was something that I wanted to pursue as a career.
Excellent. No, that's definitely a wonderful journey you have so far. But I am an introvert and I cannot speak well. What if others will laugh if when I'm saying something? That is always a thought that comes to my mind when I want to speak in front of others. And I think many have this thought in their brain. What would be your suggestions to help them to come out of this and be brave enough to speak in front of public?
That is a very it's not a valid concern because no one will laugh at you, but it's a valid concern. And that I do understand that for people it is scary. It is scary to put yourself out there. It is scary to say something and worry that people will think less of you. Frankly, you speak when you know what you're talking about. So I tend to want to fill silence as an extrovert. And if there's silence, I want to fill it. I have to talk. I have to say something. So they're more likely to laugh at me because I am trying to fill the silence than they are to an introvert who speaks when they have a well selected and well considered thought. So I find that a lot of my introvert friends, it's more that they take the time to process and think carefully about what they want to say. And so most likely what you're saying is going to be much more well articulated and thought out than something that I'm just dashing off out of my head. So the other thing is that when you do speak and you're speaking on something that you feel comfortable about, you're the expert, right? You're going to speak on something that you only feel comfortable about. And if you're speaking out of a place of knowledge and experience, no one's going to laugh at you because you are the expert in the thing that you're saying. So I think some of it is just getting over it and trying it and realizing you're not going to die. And so what I always say to people in Toastmasters who do their first speech, like, you got up there, did you die? No. Okay. you know and next time is going to be even easier. So sometimes you have to push yourself a little bit out of that comfort zone, maybe the first time, but also put yourself into a situation where people are talking about things that you have something to say about. If you put yourself into a situation where people are talking about something that you don't really understand, then it's possible that you'll, feel uncomfortable to speak. But if you put yourself into a situation where you have expertise, use it. Show that expertise.
Absolutely. That definitely. I think that's would help all of us to just go out and be brave enough to speak. So, what I want to start changing myself, and I believe I am going to start from today. So, what would be my
I'm very
step
proud of you.
one? Thank you. So, what would be my step one? What should I do right now to make this change or bring this change in my life?
Okay. Well, I know you already, and I know you've already done this, but one is join Toastmasters. And if you don't have one at your company, there will probably be one in your town. So go to toastmasters.org and find a club and go and join and push yourself out of that comfort zone. Get a good mentor who will help you do that. That's a number one. If I had one piece of advice to give to anybody about improving their communication skills, it's Toastmasters. The other thing about it is to practice. Don't wing it. And the more important your presentation is, the more you need to practice. You want to be so bored of your presentation that you can do it in your sleep, you can do it in the shower, you can do it backwards. Um, Practicing is really the only way that you're going to be able to get over this. If you're very nervous and you're going to give a presentation, one of the things that you could consider doing is just memorizing the first 30 seconds to a minute, because it's that first 30 seconds to a minute when you're standing up there and you see all eyes on you, when you want to throw up and you want to die. If you've memorized, and I mean memorized, that first 30 seconds and you get that out of your mouth, the rest is going to flow from there, because sometimes you need to just break that ice to do it. So I think I give you more than one thing, but I would say definitely just do it. That I mean, honestly, I know this sounds very trite, but just do it. Put yourself in a situation where you know you have to speak. Put yourself in front of people and accept the challenge and accept that it's going to suck and you're going to feel nervous and you're going to feel sick when you do it, and then realize you didn't die. And then, then try it again. So each time you do it is going to be easier, but the more you don't do it, the harder it becomes to do it. Every time that you go to a meeting and you want to speak up and you don't, it makes it harder the next time. So the first time is going to be hard, but the second time is going to be slightly less hard, and the third time is going to be slightly less hard than that. So just push yourself out of that discomfort zone, um, or push yourself into that discomfort zone and try it. See what happens.
Thank you, Stacey. I think this is very wonderful, and thanks for your presence. And this always a great challenge for all of us to go out and getting us out there. I think that's the first step, and
Absolutely.
and I think that's would be very helpful for us to be brave enough and speak out and get that fear out of us and speak and just go into this communication. Thank you, Stacey.
You're very
Thanks.
welcome.